Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Please switch on your video. Please switch on your video. Some students still joining, just waiting for a minute. Can you able to see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to start a new topic that is about pig housing. All of you can see the slide.
yes, sir.
I hope you have visited our pig farm during your short stay in our farm, in our college. So here about the pig housing, today what I want to discuss with you is that, say, pig farm is there, or a farmer wants to establish one new pig farm, what are the different ways you will have to think how to establish this farm. About the establishment of the farm, you required what are the different construction or sheds you will have to construct it there. As you have seen in our farm, while going down, some animal we are keeping in farrowing pen, some animal we are keeping in a winner pen, small one. Some adult male we used to keep it individually, they are in boar pen. You have seen, huh? So, can you hear me
Yes, sir.
now? Okay, just focus on the screen. Before going to discuss about how the animal pig is to be housed or should be kept, we should know about little bit about pig production cycle or different periods or type of animals, that is about type of pigs are there in the pig farm. So if we start from the birth, the piglets when they born, they are with the mother during their lactation period. That is called nursing period. So normally this nursing period varies from 28 to 56 days of age. That means some farmers, they weaned the piglets after 28 days of birth, or some farmers wean the piglets at 35 or 42 or even 56 days of age. I hope all of you know what is weaning. So the weaning is a separation of the piglets from the sow. It is vice versa, or separation of the sow from the piglet. It is called weaning. So the period, the piglets with the mother, that period is called nursing period. So in our management system, sometimes we wean the piglets at 28 days of age, sometimes we wean at 56 days of age, sometimes in between. Yes, they are coming late, so that's why. Huh? So in between, if they are coming, very difficult to join. Yeah. Not many, one or two only. So far, 62 are there. So okay, I'll continue. So what I want to mean is that they are disturbing. Yeah. So anyway, we'll continue. Huh? So what I want to say is that, like this way, what will happen? Wait for a second. Huh? They're still coming. They're still going out. Anyway, we'll continue. We'll not stop anymore. Is it all right now? Okay, see, now as I talk, first one is the nursing period. So nursing periods, it varies from 28 to 56 days of age. So in some places 28 days, some places 42 days, some places 50, some places 56 days. Now about the importance of significance of this weaning period, length, that one I will talk later on, not now. So that is nursing period. During that time, the piglets will be with the sow till weaning. After weaning, that is weaning to end of rearing period. Just after weaning, piglets are shifted from farrowing pen to the weaner pen. And that period, if we are weaning the piglets at 35 days or 28 days of age, then we'll have to rear this piglet up to 77 to normally 77 to 90 days of age. You can say 11 weeks to 13 weeks of age. We'll have to rear these piglets in a specialized pen that is called weaner pen. So first one is up to weaning. They will be with the sow in the farrowing pen. After that, they will be taken to the weaner pen. So that period, that is called rearing period. Usually we call rearing period. From the end of the weaning till 11 weeks to 13 weeks, that is the rearing period. Next is the end of rearing to the market is. I hope all of you know whatever the pigs normally available in the markets. By around 7 to 8 months of age, their body weight is around 90 to 100 kg. That is, I'm saying an average figure. I'm saying an average figure. What I want mean average figure means some animals very good grower, they may attain 100 kilo at 7 months. Some little bit poor grower, they may attain 80 kilo at 8 months of age. So there is a variation is there. So good quality animal will grow faster. So in and around 7 to 8 months of age, their body weight will be around 90 to 100 kg of body weight. That is called fattening period or growing finishing period. Okay, just three periods you try to understand. The one is nursing period, another one is rearing period, next one is your growing finishing period or fattening period. Okay, so next rearing period for gills or a bowling. Bowling means boar, you know what is boar. Boar is the adult male used for breeding. So when it is young, they are called bowling. Usually by around 8.5 months, we can use the boar for breeding. But preferably, boars are used for breeding when they are 1 year of age. When they are 1 year of age, that is a more appropriate time. But still, some boar, when their growth is good, around 120 kg body weight is there, by around 8.5 months, we can use for breeding of this boar. They are called young boar, or we can say the boarling. Okay, so end of the period, that is from 11 or 13 weeks of age till 8 months, till the animals are used for breeding, whether it is male animal, that is boarling, whether it is a female one, that is called gilt, that is called rear, that is called gilt or boarding. So that whole period for gilt as well as boarding. Previously, what I said, this one is growing finishing period. This is growing finishing period is mainly for what we want to mean is those animals which will be utilized for slaughter purposes, or that will be slaughtered and their meat will be consumed. That animal we used to call as fattening animals, or that period is fattening period. This boar and as well as the gilt, they will also grow, but fattening animal is little bit different way normally kept, and that the animal's future breeding stock in future, which animal we are going to use for breeding, there will be utilized in a separate way. So they are called future breeding stocks are called gilt or the boarding. So age period is almost similar. Here also around 8.5 months. In case of fattening animals also 8.5 months. Okay. So only two categories. One animal is utilized for slaughter purposes. Another group of animal will be utilized for breeding purposes. And those two categories, the breeding animals will be reared little bit different way, and those animals which will be reared for slaughter purposes will be reared little bit different way. From housing point of view, I'm talking. Next one is adult boar, that all of you know. Next one is sow. So the adult female one which is used for breeding, they are called sow. Okay. So what I want to mean is that some terminologies, you know it. What is called piglet, what is called gelt, what is called boar and all. But from housing point of view, what I want to say, just one is nursing period. During that time, piglets are with the sow. After that, that is weaning period. That is weaning to rearing, the weaning to end of the rearing. That is called rearing period. Next one is fattening period. Fattening period normally starts from 11 to 13 weeks of age up to 8.5 months. Then another one is rearing period for the breeding stock. Their housing is a little bit different. This breeding stock are either bowling or gilt. So bowling, they are immature male one. So they are kept in group. Once they are showing the stress behavior and all, or they are capable of breeding one, then we'll have to keep it individually. Especially I'm talking about the male. Then another group is the boar, another group is the sow. Okay, so they are the there are different categories are there. So while talking about the housing, we will talk in detail about this category. Then you will be able to understand. Now coming to sow production cycle. Are you there, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
With one, you keep one pen and some notebook there with you. With you, keep one pen and notebook. So when you talk about sow production cycle, so we can say cycle means somewhere it is beginning, somewhere there is beginning, somewhere it is ending. So if we say production cycle in case of sow, let's start it from farrowing till next farrowing. That is one cycle. We can start it from breeding to breeding. That is also all right. But here we will start it from farrowing to farrowing. Farrowing, I hope all of you know what is the meaning of farrowing. So here, just you think, in case of pig, here we are talking about the production cycle that will be from farrowing to farrowing. So first of all, after farrowing, uh, what will happen? First of all, they will be, say today the animal is farrowed, and after that there will be lactation period. Once the lactation period is over, the animal will be weaned. Once the animal is weaned, I'm talking about the sow will be bred again, and she will be again pregnant. And then she will be pregnant for 115 days. Then again, at the end of that one, the animal will give birth. So farrowing, the milestone, what I'm saying, one is farrowing, then weaning, then again breeding, that is conception, then again farrowing. So if we break into this whole production cycle, so there will be four components will come out. Four components. One is gestation period. That is 115 days. All of you know it. So plus minus 2 days you can keep it. Somewhere it is at 114 days, so it doesn't bother. Just you, if it is 115 days written, 114 days written, just you click it right. If somebody says that whether it is 114 or 112, then you click 114 days. If 115 days is not done, but more accurately is 115 days, depending upon the climate, season, temperature, all those things. Little bit 1 or 2 day, there is variation in the gestation period is there. So on an average, gestation period is 115 days. So next component is your lactation period. Lactation period, already I said, it might vary from 28 days to 56 days in our condition. In our condition, I will talk about the lactation length later on. Okay. So now after end of the lactation, that means once the sow is removed or weaned, that is called weaning to service period. So weaning to service period, normally when the sow is weaned, the sow will come into heat. Heat means stress. This onset of the reproductive cycle again within 5 to 7 days. So within 5 to 7 days, just after weaning, a sow is coming into heat or stress. That period is called weaning to service interval. Okay. So normally this period varies from 5 to 7 days, and this period is, in our calculation, we will consider it as a grace period. So grace period we will consider not 5 to 7 days, we will exactly fix it at 7 days. That means during this period, 5 to 7 days, the normal period, we will assume that the animal is in production. This is not at all a loss. Not at all a loss. Okay. Things is clear. Once the sow is weaned, she will come into heat within 5 to 7 days. I'm talking about the normal animals. If the sow is sick, or if the sow is very thin, or sow is too fatty, in that case, she may not come into heat 5 to 7 days. Okay. So in normal cases, 5 to 7 days. Again, if the sow is not weaned at 28 or 35 days, if sow is weaned, say after 80 days, say after weaned after 80 days, in that case, the sow will not come into estrus within 5 to 7 days. Normally, what happens when the sow is in lactation? She used to lose a lot of body weight. When sow is losing a lot of body weight, her body condition is going down. In that case, usually sow will not come into estrus at the earliest. Okay, so if we wean little bit early, there is a probability that sow will come into estrus little bit early. So when we are weaning, the sow is delayed, her body weight loss will be more. As a result, sow may not come into heat a little bit early. That is the reason if we can wean the sow a little bit early. Little bit early means what I am saying it is here 28 days. Early means not at by after 5 days, not at after 10 days. What I am saying. So early you cannot wean the sow after 10 days of farrowing. If you wean the sow after 10 days of farrowing, sow will not come into it. Why sow is not coming to heat after 10 days of farrowing, that one I will talk later on, not now. So what just you keep in mind is that when the sow is weaned in between 28 to 56 days of age, normally the sow will come into heat within 5 to 7 days, and the period, the 7 days, we will call as grass period. So we'll assume that during that period the animal is still in production. No doubt during that period sow is neither in pregnant nor lactating, but still that period, that 7 days, will cause the grass period. We'll assume that this is a normal period the animal is required. Understand? Are you there? So next is the loss period. See, animal, we have weaned it at 28 days, but that animal is not coming into heat within 7 days. Say animal is coming into heat after 10 days. So the 3 days, 10 minus 7, the 3 days, that will consider as lost days. Okay? Say sow is not coming into heat after 15 days. After 15 days only sow is coming into heat. Then what will be the loss period? In that case, 15 minus 7 days. 15 minus 7 days. So loss period. So these 4 components will constitute your one production cycle. One is gestation period, another one is lactation period, another one is weaning to service interval, another one is loss period. Okay? Is it clear? Now, before going to a calculation, let's try to know another word or terminology that you'll have to know, that is about the litter cycle or farrowing index. I hope you know it. What is litter index? What is farrowing index? What is cycle index? Can anybody say what is litter index? Shekhar. Can anybody say? Aman, Mena. Anisa Gurung. Anisa Gurung. Show your face.
Yes, sir.
Show your face. Anisa Gurung. Hello? You are not responding, Anisa Gurung.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking what is litter index. Do you have any idea?
No, sir.
You have not heard. Asa. Asa Hibu. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Respond quickly. Time is passing fast.
Okay, sir.
Have you heard the
No,
word or
sir,
not?
I don't have.
About
Yes,
litter
I have
index,
heard, but I have no idea.
cycle index, farrowing index, very simple one. So there is a number of litter. Litter means when a piglet give birth, they used to give birth 10 to 12 numbers of animals. sometimes 10 to 15, sometimes 8, sometimes 9. So number of piglets born at a time, that is called litter. Okay. So number of litter, that is when we call all the piglets a litter. Okay, a litter. A litter, it may consist of 10 to 15 piglets, but that will call 1 litter. So number of litter oblique cycle. Cycle it may be reproduction cycle. Just now I talk about one cycle. Or number of farrowing taking place per sow per year. That means how many farrowing a sow is going to give in 1 year. That is called farrowing index. It is saying how many litter they are going to produce in 1 year by one sow. That is called litter index, or it is called cycle index also. The same thing. Okay. So when somebody is saying litter index, farrowing index, cycle index, the same meaning. Okay. So for example, say litter index is 2, means a sow is going to produce 2 numbers of liters in 1 year. Is it all right? So litter index is 2, means 2 number of liter is going to produce by one sow in a year. So normally how many liters are produced by a sow in a year? Atul Kumar, any idea?
No, sir.
Huh? How many liters are produced?
No, sir. No idea.
No idea?
No, sir.
Somebody will be joining. No idea, Atul?
No, sir.
Now you will have the idea. So see here, say litter index is 2. That means there will be 2 farrowing, or there will be 2 production cycle in 1 year. So what will be the length of one production cycle? That means 365 divided by 2. That means 102.5 days. 182.5 days. So one production cycle length will be 182.5 days. Litter index, farrowing index, cycle index, these are, as I said, these are all same words. So that means length of one production cycle will be now 182.5 days. As I said, production cycle is consist of 4 components. Now, if one production cycle length is 182.5 days, what are the defined components in this one? Let's see. Gestation period, that is fixed, that is 115 days, that all of you know. So in this case, we'll consider lactation period is 35 days. Okay. Then weaning to service interval, that is grace period, that is 7 days. So now loss period will be 182.5 minus 115 minus 35 minus 7 is equal to 5.5 days. This is the loss period. This is the loss period. So when the litter index is 2 and lactation length is 35 days, what is the loss days? That is 25.5 days. Similar way, say another example, say litter index or farrowing index or cycle index, that is 2.4. So here, say we'll assume the lactation length is 28 days. So 2.4 litter index means there will be 2.4 liters. 2.4 numbers of liters will be produced per sow per year, or 2.4 numbers of production cycle will be there per sow per year, or 2.4 numbers of farrowing will be there per sow per year in the farm. So if 2.4 is the litter index or cycle index or farrowing index, then in that case, length of one production cycle will be same formula, 365 divided by 2.4. That is 152 days. This is an example I am talking. Previous one was 2. Previous one example was 2. Here we consider 2. Now here it is 2.4. Okay, so here we are considering lactation length of 28 days. In that case, loss period is coming 152 minus 115 minus 28 minus 7 is equal to 2 days. So here loss period is 2 days. You understand little bit or not?
Sir.
Any queries about this one?
Sir, in loss period, why the other terms are subtracted?
Huh?
Sir, in calculation of loss period, why the other terms are subtracted from the gestation period? I have confusion, sir.
That you will have to understand what is loss period. Beginning slide, just you see loss period is what in a production cycle period. First of all, it's a production cycle. First of all, you write down, try to know what is a production cycle. You understand production cycle, right?
Yes, sir.
Production cycle consists of one is gestation period, one is lactation period, one is weaning to service period, that is grace period, that is 7 days. Beyond 7 days, whatever period is there, that is called loss days, right? So production cycle consists of 4 things. One is gestation, one is lactation, another one is weaning to service, or that is grace period, another one is loss period. What is loss period? Normally after weaning, when we wean the sow, this should come into heat within 7 days. So after 7 days, we will not consider it a loss. That will be considered the grace period. Beyond 7 days, after weaning, if the animal is not coming into heat, that period we will consider as loss period. So because of that one, to calculate what is the loss period, we will have to subtract remaining period from the production cycle length. First of all, we are calculating the production cycle length. Say production cycle length is 152 days. So 152 days, first of all, we'll have to minus it, gestation period. Then we'll minus lactation period. Then we minus grace period. Then we'll give the loss period. You understand now a little bit?
Yes, sir.
So now when one thing is consists of 4 things, then other 3 things you know it, right? Then to calculate other one, then definitely you will have to minus the loss period. To calculate the loss period from production cycle, you will have to minus this remaining 3 components. Okay, very simple one, then you will be able to understand. Now, so try in your later on when you get free time, when the litter index is say 2.3 or 2.2 or 2.5, then say lactation period you consider, either you consider 28 days or you can consider 35 days, no issue. Then you can calculate what will be the loss period for a production litter index of 2.3, 2.2, 2.1 and 2.5. This one try to do it, and later on I will ask what will be the loss period. You consider lactation length 28 days, you consider it for all your calculation. Okay, so lactation length is 28 days. Then in that case, litter index is 2.3, what will be the loss period? Litter index is 2.1, what will be the loss period? Litter index is 2.2, what will be the loss period? Litter index is 2.5, what will be the loss period? This calculation is important to do the remaining calculation about the housing requirements. Okay, because of that, I just explaining you what is a pre-production cycle and different types of animals are there. So please try to do it. If there is any problem, then we can discuss it again about this one. Now coming to the pig housing, normally where these animals are housed, a little bit you know it already. I explained to you. One is farrowing pen, one is winner pen, one is fattener pen, one is gills or bowling pen, and one is core pen, and then dry and pregnant sow pen. Dry and pregnant means that sow may be pregnant, sow may be dry, means neither she is pregnant nor she is lactating. Those sow we used to call as dry, or sometimes we call empty sow. Empty. That means the sow is neither pregnant, that means she is not carrying any fetuses, nor the sow is lactating to any nursing piglets. So these are normally different pens we used to construct in any pig farm. Okay, so these photographs, you know it, you might have seen some of this type of housing. This is winner pen, this one is farrowing pen, these are village level some photographs, these are dry and pregnant sow pen, then these are winner pen, this is farrowing pen, this is farrowing pen. You might have seen different pens in our farm. Now about the main part of about the housing part, the calculation part. So when we talk about the pig farm, about the size of the farm, normally what we used to say is the capacity of the farm is mainly based on the how many numbers of sow is there, not how many numbers of boar, finisher pigs, or dry and pregnant animal. As a whole, total how many numbers of sow is there, based on that only the farm is recognized. So for our this calculation, we are going to take an example for a farm of 50 sow. That means there is 50 numbers of there will be 50 sow. There are different types of animals will be there. Boar will be there, gills will be there, winner pigs will be there, ram pregnant sow will be there. But our sow capacity is 50. Okay. And about the farm will have litter index of 2.2. So before going to do any calculation, how many numbers of what pens it will be required in the farm, we'll have to assume about the farm. We'll have to assume about the farm. First one is about the capacity of the farm. Next one is about what will be the probable litter index. Litter index is how many times a sow will give birth in that farm. We will have to assume. We'll have to assume. So here we are assuming litter index of 2.2. Then average litter size, we'll have to assume litter size, that is 10. That means 10 numbers of piglets will be born at a time. Then we'll have to assume about the mortality. Why we are assuming all these things, when we do the calculation, then you will be able to understand. So mortality, it is assumed that 10% piglet will die during suckling period. Suckling means say lactation, if we consider it 35 days, up to 35 days. If we consider 28 days, it is up to 28 days. 10%, normally it is considered 10. Then 3% piglet will die during rearing period. Rearing period already I explained to you, just after weaning till 77 or 91 days of age. That is up to 11 to 13 weeks of age. That will be rearing. Mortality during rearing period is assumed at around 3%, and 2% will be beyond that 77 or 91 days of age. There's a growing finishing period, or in adult animal, we are going to assume the mortality rate of 2%. Why mortality rate assumption is required? During the process of calculation, you will be able to know. So what assumption we made it? The sow capacity is 50, litter index will be 2.2, average litter size at birth will be 10, pre-weaning mortality 10%, then post-weaning mortality 3%, then adult animal mortality 2%. So these are the things we are assuming. Then next, another word you will have to know: occupation period. Occupation period. Now, as we are going to do the calculation for farrowing pen, so try to know occupation. Occupation means, very simply try to understand that if farrowing pen is there, how long that pen will be occupied by the sow in one production cycle. I repeat, occupation period will be the period a sow will occupy during one production cycle. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So normally Farrowing pen, you understand or not? What do you mean by farrowing pen? Disa, data. Are you there? Disa or Disa Digha, Digha, GH, Digha data.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What is farrowing pen? Just can you tell me? Any idea what is farrowing pen? Or in this and pen? Pen, you understand, na? The compartment. It's a compartment or a room for the pig. The farrowing pen, it is also called a maternity pen. Usually the farrowing is taking place here. Okay? So if farm is there where sow capacity is 50 numbers. If farm is there where sow capacity is 50 number, total number of animal in that farm will be more than 500 or more than 1000. But sow capacity, adult sow is 50. So how many numbers of farrowing pen we will require in that farm? That calculation we are going to do it. All of you understand? So in that farm where litter index is 2, sow number is 50, and the lactation length will be 35 days. How many numbers of farrowing pen will be required in that farm? That calculation we are going to do it. So for doing that one, we'll have to know what is occupation period. Occupation period means the sow will stay how long in that farrowing pen in one production cycle. Okay. So normally what we used to do, we used to transfer the pregnant animal to this farrowing pen normally 7 to 14 days ahead of expected date of farrowing. We used to shift the animal to the farrowing pen. So normal calculation we are going to do it 7 days, but if you have space, better to bring the animal little bit earlier. So it is thumb rule is 7 to 14 days, but in our calculation we are going to do, say, before 7 days of expected date of farrowing, we are going to shift the sow to the farrowing pen. That means the sow will be there in the farrowing pen 7 days ahead of farrowing. Okay, that means farrowing pen will be occupied by 7 days plus 7 days plus during the lactation period, whole period, the sow will be there in the farrowing pen, right? All of you have seen farrowing pen, yes or not? Now here, this is one farrowing pen. This is the one farrowing pen. This one. Here, this is one farrowing pen. This is also one farrowing pen. So 7 days ahead of expected date of farrowing, we will bring the sow here. We'll bring the sow here. Then the sow will give birth, and she will be there for another 35 days. If in that farm your lactation length is 35 days, she will stay another 35 days. That means 7 days plus 35 days is the occupation period that farrowing pen is occupied, right? So after 35 days, that means sow will be weaned. The sow will be removed from that pen. Piglets also will be removed. Piglets will be removed to weaner pen, and the sow will be removed to the dry and pregnant sow pen. That means that farrowing pen will be empty after 7 plus 35. That means after 42 days, the pen will be empty. So once the pen is empty, we'll have to clean it. We'll have to clean it very thoroughly so that another sow which is about to give birth, we will shift it to there. We'll shift it there. So farrowing pen is a specialized type of pen. That is a maternity pen, as I said. So 7 days plus 35 days plus another few days we require is for cleaning. That is called 3 days. That is 3 days we used to clean that one. We'll keep it as 3 days cleaning. So 7 days plus 35 days plus 3 days, total 45 days. That means for one farrowing, For one farrowing, that means for one production cycle, or for producing 1 liter, the farrowing pan was occupied for how many days? How many days? 45 days. So that is the occupation period of 45 days. You understand that? That means one farrowing pan is utilized for 45 days for one farrowing. You understand now?
Yes,
Is it all
sir.
right? Is it all right or not?
Yes, sir.
Now,
No, sir.
Yes,
What is
sir.
cleaning period?
what is cleaning period? Simply, what is cleaning? As I said, just after removing the sow, that will be dirty, right? We'll have to clean it. That pan, we'll have to clean it very thoroughly. Then we'll have to allow them the pan to be dried up. So at least minimum 3 days will be required to clean that one. Then once the cleaning is over, then only we can bring another sow. Okay? Again, there will be another farrowing. So like this way, we can reutilize one farrowing pan. You understand?
Yes, sir.
In a year, how many times we can use this farrowing pan? So this simple mathematics. For one time, how many days it requires? 45 days, right? For one cycle or 1 liter production, how many days it will occupy? 45 days. So that means how many times we can use it? That is 365 divided by 45 equal to 8.11 times we can use it. Yes or not? You follow or not? That means we can reuse that farrowing pan how many times? 8.11 time. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lal Byak Sangi. Lal Byak Sangi is there or not? Somebody is putting on this one and going out, I hope. No one is here. Lal Rampui, gone. Lobsang,
Yes, sir.
Lobsang,
Yes, sir.
are you there?
Yes, sir.
8.11 you understand or not? Tell me. $8.11 you understand or not? Tell me. I am asking Lobsang.
Oh, yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
8.11 means what? Tell. Lobsang, tell me.
Number of farrowing produced per year by a sow.
What? What the hell you are talking? 8.1 is number of farrowing produced. After explaining so many things you were saying, try to be
Sorry, sir.
attentive. Try to be attentive. Simply putting it on, it will not work. Nivedita ball. Tell.
Yes, sir.
Tell. What is
Sir, it
8.1?
means, sir, occupation period of one farrowing is 45 days. That means in 1 year we have in 8 times to farrowing.
That means we can accommodate 8.11 numbers of farrowing.
Yes, sir.
When one farrowing is there, that's how we'll occupy that farrowing pan for 45 days, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So in a year, how many times we can use it? As I said, once the farrowing pan, once it is cleaned, another sow can come. She can deliver. Okay. Again, she will be weaned. Again, it will be cleaned. Again, another sow will bring. So if there is farrowing is taking place continuously throughout the year, how many farrowings we can accommodate in that farm, in that unit, in that farrowing pan? That is 8.11. Is it clear or not to you?
Yes, sir.
All of you clear or not?
Yes, sir.
See what I'm saying in exam about this housing calculation, it is going to come, and this is the beginning. I'm saying so many calculation will be there later on. So this calculation, if there is any problem, you ask me now. You ask me now. Otherwise, things will be complicated again. I repeat, just before expected 7 days of expected date of farrowing, sow will be shifted to the farrowing pen. Farrowing pen is a maternity pen, or where farrowing taking place. It's a specialized type of pen. So just before 7 days of ahead of expected date of farrowing, sow will be brought here. After farrowing, she will be stayed here during the whole lactation period. After lactation period, say 35 days is here we are assuming. After 35 days, the sow will be removed from this farrowing pen. Piglets also will be removed. That means the farrowing pen is empty now. And this empty pen is cleaned very nicely, then dried. So this whole process, cleaning, drying, all this thing, it will require 3 days. So after that, this pen will be again ready for another farrowing. So for one farrowing, it will be occupied for 7 plus 35 plus 3. So that is 45 days in this case. So that means like that way, for one farrowing, it will occupy for 45 days. So how many farrowings we can accommodate in that particular farrowing pen? That is 365 divided by 45 is equal to 8.11. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, coming to final calculation. Now, in our farm, we assume what is the sow capacity? What is the sow capacity we assumed? 50. Litter index is how much we assumed? 2.2. We assume litter index 2.2, right? Sebika Ghatani.
Sir.
Are you there, Sebika Ghatani? Sow capacity is 50. Litter index is 2.2. How many numbers of farrowing will be there in that farm? Sarmistha, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you answer it? Litter index is 2.2. Means what? What do you understand by 2.2 litter index?
So the amount of litter that has been produced in the pen.
Not in the pen. This is not amount. This will be number of liter.
Yes, sir.
Number of liter produced by one sow in 1 year. 2.2 means this is or litter index or farrowing index. That means farrowing index 2.2 means 2.2 numbers of farrowing will be taking place in that farm by one sow. Is it clear? So liter
Yes,
means total 10 piglets are born. That is called 1 liter. Okay, one time farrowing all together piglet, that is called 1 liter. Is it all right? So litter
Yes,
index 2.2 means one sow will deliver how many times? 2.2 times in 1 year. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So now there will be total 50 sows are there. So total how many farrowings will be there? 50 into 2.2. So total how we will have 110 numbers of farrowing in that farm in 1 year. Okay? Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
So total farrowing will taking place in that farm will be 110 numbers. One farrowing can accommodate how many farrowings? 8.11 farrowing. Okay? So 8.11 farrowing can be accommodated in one pen. Or other words, the simple mathematics you can do. One farrowing can be accommodated in 1 by 8.11 pen. 110 farrowings can be accommodated in 1 by 8.11 into 110 into 13.56. Just you see this calculation. So how 13.56 it's coming, you understand, I hope? You understand, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you, please look at it. How 13.56 is coming, you understand, I hope. This is very simple mathematics. Class 6 or 4-5 students, they can able to answer. One farrowing pen can accommodate how many farrowings? 8.11 farrowings. Okay. So in opposite way, I'm saying is that 8.11 farrowing can be accommodated in one pen, right? So one farrowing can be accommodated 1 by 8.11 pen. We have total 110 farrowings can be accommodated by 1.811 into 110. It will around 13.56 numbers of pen will be required. So how many numbers of pen it will be required? Mathematically, it will be 13.56 numbers of farrowing pen will be required in that farm where 50 sows are there. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, as when I discussed about the farrowing pen, as I said, once the 45 days is over, another sow will come. So once that sow giving birth, after cleaning, another sow will come. So that means in a year, the farrowing should be taking place very uniformly. It should not be like that in certain months there is more farrowing, in certain months there is less farrowing. If the farrowings, all the 110 farrowings are equally distributed in 12 months, then only our requirement can be fulfilled by 13.56 numbers of farrowing pen. You understand my point or not? Total 110 farrowings are there. 110 farrowings are there in the farm. So in certain, there is 12 months are there. Certain months there may be more farrowing, certain months there may be less farrowing. So in such situation, we will require more number of farrowing pen. Our calculation is based on assumption that farrowing will be taking place uniformly throughout the year. Then only with 13.56 numbers of pen, we can accommodate all the farrowings taking place by this 50 sows. Okay, so this is our assumption, but sometimes these are all the animals are biological things, right? So whatever way we assume, it may not follow it. So in that case, when the animal is little bit more farrowing is there, we'll have to always keep some reserve stock, that is called 10%. 10% more number of pen, we'll have to keep it there. Okay, so total our mathematical calculation is coming 13.56. So here you just simply add 10%. So when we add 10%, it is coming 14.916. So the pen number, it cannot be 14.916. It should be 14.9 means 15 pen. Even 14.1, we will consider it is more than 14 pen. That means 15 pen. Is it okay? Are you there or not? Students are there or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you understand
Yes,
this
sir.
or not?
Yes, sir.
See, I will share this slide with your Google Class. Share is here or not? Share is here or not? Your class representative is still there or not? Sharmistha,
Yes, sir.
little bit you take the lead. What I'm saying, I'm not getting in that your class share. This one I will add it in your Google Class. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Actually, some students, I hope they could not able to join in Google Class. Might be problem with their mail ID. So whatever mail ID you and your class representative has given to me, I share there. So as such, there should not be any problem. Many students join, but some of you could not able to join there. Okay, so just keep in touch with them. This PowerPoint, try to go through it, and if there is any queries, you can call me and try to go through it, try to understand this one. Okay, then accordingly you can go for calculation of other following pen, other that pen like Ryan Pagnan, South pen, Winner pen, all those things I will discuss later on. At least these slides try to understand, and you explain to them how to download it from there. In WhatsApp also I can give it, but WhatsApp, what problem arises is that later on there will not be any accountability how whether it is there in the stock or not. In the Google Classroom things I am uploading it, it will be remain there. Okay, so because of that I want prefer the Google Class. Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
I hope you have class from 11.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then for today,
Yes,
bye
sir.
bye. Okay, you can quit now.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you,
welcome.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.